Welcome back. I got some really exciting books in the post yesterday, and I've got some really exciting books from the library recently, so I decided that it's time to do another book haul. I am going to split this book haul into two parts. I've got a stack of library books here, and I've got a stack of books I have bought or been sent. Firstly though, I am filming this on Thursday, and I just wanted to share this glass that I got with you. So I don't know if you can see that. It says, the only thing I throw back on a Thursday is a glass of wine. This isn't wine in here, this is iced tea, but it did have wine in here last night, even though it wasn't Thursday, so I just wanted to show you my new glass because I really like it. So let's start with the books I received from publishers. I got two books sent to me from Simon & Schuster yesterday. The first one of these is a proof copy, and this one comes out on the 11th of July, and that is Hello Sunshine by Laura Dave, and this is a women's fiction novel. It says, Sunshine Mackenzie has it all until her secrets come to light. It looks like it's going to be quite a quick read. It's only just over 200 pages. Like I say, this is the proof copy, but this came with a really cool kitchen conversions thing that's got the same design on the front. If you go over to my Instagram, I posted a picture of it on there, which is actually really useful because a lot of my cookbooks are from the UK, and some of the things here are in like cups instead, and we don't really use cups as measurement as much in the UK, so having the conversion there is really helpful. So a book and a useful kitchen tool. The second book that I got from Simon & Schuster is already out, and it sounds really interesting. I hadn't heard anything about this book, but it sounds really like different but exciting, and definitely something that's up my street. And it's called A Stitch of Time, not to be confused with the novel A Stitch in Time. This is A Stitch of Time, and it's by Lauren Marks, and this one is about a girl who suffers a brain injury and how that changed her life. And it's actually set, well, it begins in Scotland, so that would be quite interesting to read as well. And I love all the stitches on the front cover here, and then the undress book is bright yellow, which is quite exciting. So as I say, I really hadn't heard much about that one, and so I am looking forward to reading that one. So this will definitely be featuring on my June TBR along with Hello Sunshine. And then I've been to a couple of book events recently. I'm going to write a blog post about this with some pictures, so look out for that soon. The first book event I went to where I picked up some books was an event with Brianna Shroom and Colleen Oakes, and I got my books signed by them. I have talked about these in my May TBR, but I hadn't hauled them yet, so here they are now. The first book I got, which I read yesterday and loved, was Queen of Hearts by Colleen Oakes, and this is an Alice in Wonderland kind of retelling, but talking about the Queen of Hearts. And as I say, I have already read this and I did really enjoy it, and I got a signed copy, and on the cover here is the second book in the series, Blood of Wonderland, and I have put that on hold in the library because I want to read the second book in this series definitely. And then the other book that I got from that event was Never Never by Brianna Shrum, and this one, as I said, I mentioned in my May TBR as well. This is actually kind of jumped over to my June TBR just because I had a little wiggle round of the books on my A to Z readathon, but this is another retelling, and it is the retelling of Peter Pan from the perspective of Captain Hook, and she read a little bit at the event and it sounded really exciting. And both of these books, I actually listened to the audiobook of Queen of Hearts, and both of them have a kind of like an English narration almost, so that's quite exciting. So that's that one. And then I went to an event 2 Saturdays ago at Tattered Cover here in Denver, and that was an event for Graham Simpson's new novel, The Best of Adam Sharp. Now this one only recently came out here in the States, but it was actually when I was back in the UK, it was already out there, and I did have a copy of this on NetGalley for review, but I've actually also, so I have an e-copy, a hard copy. I've just downloaded the audiobook of this one because we're going on a road trip at the weekend and I wanted to listen to it on the road trip. So that's that one. And he read a bit at the event, and I had read a little bit of the audiobook as well. And it just sounds really funny. And he was just so, oh, it's another yellow one. I hadn't undressed it yet. There we go. He was just so charming. He was coming out into the audience and chatting to everybody and chatting about the Rosie Project and chatting about his next book and chatting about just his writing process and how he's a planner, and then because he's got such an intricate plan, he then ends up writing the first draft in like 2 weeks because he's planned it so heavily. So that was really interesting, and as I say, I'm reading this one this weekend and it is on my May TBR, just like the other book that I just showed you. So next we're going to library books. I checked out the library The Replacement Crush by Lisa Brown Roberts. Lisa Brown Roberts is a Colorado author, just like Colleen Oakes and Brianna Schrum, and so I met her at a writing event recently, and when I saw that they had her book in the library, I picked that up. Haven't read it yet, hopefully going to get to it in the next month. Then you'll have seen me talking about these books on social media, and that is To All the Boys I've Loved Before, P.S. I Still Love You, and Always and Forever Lara Jean, which by Jenny Han. And I actually read these books last week. I had checked out the audiobooks from the library, but I checked them out using OneClick, and I hadn't used OneClick before, and you can't actually increase the speed of the audiobook on OneClick, and so I ended up kind of just listening to the audiobook when I was driving somewhere in the car, but reading the actual physical book when I could, because I read it faster. I think I timed myself, and one of the chapters on the audiobook was 4.5 minutes and it took me 1.5 minutes, and then the next chapter was like 15 minutes and it took me 4 minutes, so definitely quicker to read these. I will talk a little bit more about these. I'm going to do a video review of the trilogy for you. Then I got a book which had a few of these that came on hold, and I've seen a few people talking about them here on BookTube, and that was Rachel Cohen, Kill All Happies. Let's get this so it's not shining on it. Another yellow book. Obviously yellow is the colour of the season, and I don't really know very much about this one, but I heard someone talking about it on YouTube, and it all takes place just over one day at one party, and obviously Rachel Cohen is the co-author of Dash and Lily's Book of Dares and the 12 Days of Dash and Lily. She writes books with David Levithan, and I love those books, so I thought, well, this looks like a nice contemporary, so I requested this and it came on off of hold really quickly, so I've got that one, and that will be on my June TBR. Then I picked up History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silveira, another one which will definitely be going on the June TBR. I've heard so many people saying so many good things about this one. I don't know anything about it, but I follow him on Twitter and I follow people that have read this and they say it's amazing, so I definitely wanted to pick it up while I had it at the library. And then this one, which has a very different cover in the UK. If you look for my June TBR post when it comes up next week, I have the two covers next to each other, and that is 7 Days of You, and the UK cover looks very different, so I was kind of looking at it, I was like, I'm sure I haven't seen this before, and then when I went to put my blog post together for my June TBR, I realised that in the UK it does have a completely different cover, and I recognised the cover from the UK cover, but this is another one where it just takes place over a week, so apparently I'm into books that take place over a shorter time zone, but this is to do with somebody who's going away and they only have 7 days together, and I mean, you can tell from the cover, look at that, like kissing in the rain, all so romantic, very, very rom-com there. So looking forward to reading that one, and that one is also on my June TBR. You can see little preview of my June TBR now. It's probably going to be really big, you know, but then they always are. Oh, it is so warm today. Then another new release which I had on hold at the library and came much quicker than I thought it would, and that is Windfall by Jennifer E. Smith. This is going on the June TBR. what's new. And this one is about, it's another sort of YA contemporary, and it's about somebody that wins the lottery. And again, this has a completely different cover in the UK. So I'm looking forward to reading it. I have read some of Jennifer E. Smith's previous novels, not all of them, and so I would definitely like to get to read all of them and perhaps sort of make her a little project for June to read all her novels. So looking forward to reading this one. It does sound really cute. And then finally, I have The Inexplicable Logic of My Life, which is by the author of Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. I saw this in the library immediately after hearing someone talk about this on BookTube somewhere, I can't remember where. And so because it was there sort of sitting on a feature shelf in the library, I was like, oh, meant to be, I have to get this one because I keep hearing about it. It's quite a long one compared to Aristotle and Dante. It's much longer, so I've also requested the audiobook of this one from the library, so we'll see which comes first, whether I end up reading the physical book or listening to the audiobook first. So there you have it, quite a few books there, a few library books, a few books I've bought, and some books that were sent to me from publishers. So thank you very much to Simon & Schuster for sending me those books. And as I say, I've read a few of them already, and you'll have seen a few of them on May TBR. The rest of them are probably going to end up on the June TBR or the July TBR. So yeah, there'll be more about those books soon. As I say, I'm planning to do a video about the To All the Boys I've Loved Before trilogy. So look out for that one coming up next week, and I will have my May wrap up and my June TBR very soon for you. So if you don't want to miss those, remember to click subscribe. If you enjoyed seeing the books that I received, bought and borrowed recently, then do give this video a thumbs up, and I would like to know in the comments if you have read any of these, or which you think I should start with as part of my June TBR. Which do I need to make a priority to read first? Let me know. Okay, I will see you soon with another video. Bye!